Well, Heidi ho, and hopefully welcome back to the channel. This time we are at National Park number 59 for us. We have made it finally to
Yes.
Glacier National Park. Tell them where we're camping, Alana.
We are camping at Fish Creek Campground.
We are, and we are
Yes.
here for how many nights?
5 nights.
That means 4 full days. Now, as
Yes.
far as the kind of things that we were going to do, well, we were not able to get a bus tour or entry into, what's the section?
Mini Glacier.
Mini Glacier, and we kind of been at that for some time, so we're down to the wire on the next day reservations. We failed our first attempt. Hopefully we'll be able to make it over. It's okay. We've got a backup plan. But if I can waffle for just a moment here, we were a little intimidated making our plans here in all trails. There's over 175 trails, and when you're doing research, they all look absolutely epic and gorgeous. We started watching videos, and we felt the same way. Everyone had
Just
a different
write down
list,
everything.
and we were writing down so much that it's just not feasible. And what we feel like is a fairly lengthy stay for a national park.
Yes.
So hopefully we can sort it out and give you some tips on wading our way through all of that. And to that, tomorrow morning, we're going to get all of our gear packed up. We're going to leave really early. While we have some entry onto going to the Sun of the Road, the reality is the parking starts to run out well beyond when those timed entry permits allow anyway. And we want to do more than just drive through. So we're going to be up at first light, if not still in the dark. And then we are heading to Siyeh Pass, I believe is the hike that we decided. It's a 4.9 rated star in all trails. So we have high expectations. I don't know. After we get some sleep, let's check it out.
It was still dark when we hit the road, joining the steady stream of cars winding their way up the Going to the Sun road. We'd planned for the early start, and it seemed half the park had the same idea. In fact, the Logan Pass parking lot was full when we passed, still well before timed entry even began. Tucked in the far northwest corner of Montana, Glacier National Park has a landscape so vast it puts everything in perspective. Spanning more than 1 million acres of rugged wilderness, it's filled with jagged peaks, beautiful lakes, and wildflower meadows that stretch for miles. It's really a collection of smaller worlds, all stitched together by one spectacular and occasionally nerve-wracking mountain road. Our hiking start was from the Siyeh Bend Piegan Pass trailhead to save our legs and knees a bit. This meant taking on the shorter but more aggressive climb and leaving the Bering Creek side for the slower yet far longer descent. We learned that even the locals can't agree on how to say Siyeh. A ranger told us it was Siyeh, so Jay went with that, until a local kindly set us straight with Siyeh. Then later, while researching, I even found a third version, Siyeh, so I guess it depends on who you talk to. Our trail for this day is considered part of the St. Mary area, which is on the east side. This area opens up to wide valleys and big Montana skies. It's the gateway to the eastern stretch of the Going to the Sun road, and it often escapes the smoky haze that drifts in from the west. Trails like St. Mary Falls, Bering Falls, and Siyeh Pass are favorites for good reason. Dramatic scenery, glacial streams, and easy access right off the main road. With 700 miles of trails, Glacier is a hiker's park through and through. From short strolls to steep climbs, every trail offers at least one "how's this even real" moment. And if you'd rather stay behind the wheel, the Going to the Sun Road delivers 50 miles of views and white-knuckle turns, built back in the 1930s when guardrails were apparently seen as frivolous. Glacier covers so much ground that you have two choices: settle into one base and drive a lot, or hop between areas, spending a few days in each before moving on. Either way, it's a park that keeps you moving. After finishing the hike, we caught the shuttle back to our car with plenty of daylight left to explore. We decided to drive the rest of the Going to the Sun Road to the St. Mary Visitor Center, stopping at scenic pull-offs like Jackson Glacier and Wild Goose Island overlooks. We even stretched our legs on a few short trails. On the way back to camp, we paused along McDonald Creek to explore where the water had carved abstract waves in colorful stone pools. Logan Pass is the park's high point, in altitude and in drama. At 6,600 feet, mountain goats roam like locals, and every visitor pretends not to be winded. Two of Glacier's best-known hikes start here, the Highline Trail and Hidden Lake Overlook. We passed on both this time, thanks to the heavy crowds and a haze of lingering smoke.
Well, today was a very good but pretty stinking long day. So we've got here back to camp. We've got everything reset. We've got our packs reset. We've got the cooler and Dusty all reset and ready to go for tomorrow. As far as what tomorrow brings, well, Alana, who's still sort of set up down here, we just tried to book into what is it, Mini Glacier area again. I had my phone out. Alana had her phone plus her Surface, and we were refreshing pages exactly at 7 o'clock, and very much like last night, within moments, and I do mean moments, like the clock hadn't gone to 7:01, all of the availability for the hiker shuttle into that area were gone. They were vamoose. So I think we have a bot problem that is taking those sites, because feedback from other hikers is that those that have gone into the area are now complaining that actually the shuttle is barely full and there's not a lot going over there, but such is technology. Hopefully something will be updated, and we'll keep at her. As far as I think what we're going to do tomorrow, Alana then tried to get sort of an off-road scenic drive. That went away very quickly too, so we'll try for that again as well if we can't get into that area. Bottom line, we're going to go to an area that doesn't need anything at all. We're going to go into the Two Medicine Lake area and do a little bit of hiking and exploring. This is a common thing that was recommended to us, not only from the naturalist slash volunteer slash ranger. I'm not sure exactly what status they held. Anyway, they recommend it, as well as our camp host, which is two sites down here in the campground. They recommended that we go over there. We might see some moose and some other things. So we have a hike spec'd out or planned for that. We'll need to get up early to get over there, because all of the hiking parking spots, they all fill up very, very quickly. As far as today, to recap a bit, throughout the hike, I would ask Alana, how would you rate this in stars, 3, 4, 5, right now and in this moment? Initially, we both were at 4s, then we went to 4.5, like we sort of felt more. And then as we came back down, we went by the waterfall and other things. We agreed with the 4.9, and we ended up giving it a 5-star in all trails as well, because we couldn't say like 4.5 or 4.6. I think if I could, I probably would have put it in that range of 4.6, 4.7 star rating in all trails as far as it went. And that's only because I feel like we did it backwards. We did it the way that makes elevation change sense. We hiked up, as Alana mentioned in voiceover, with the lower elevation, which gave us a larger descent. Down, the thing about that is the views are actually played a little better the opposite direction. So if we were to do it again, we'd go ahead and bite the bullet, I think, and do it the opposite direction. Now, that being said, our ascent was so steep at the very end on the way that we went up to the pass that it would be a little treacherous on walking down. So if that's your thing where you don't like walking down, often Alana and I don't like walking down, then I would consider that and go ahead and do it in the normal direction that most people do like we did. Anyway, that's it. Great day, and we will see you tomorrow morning.
Down in the southeast corner, Two Medicine feels like Glacier from another time. Before the Going to the Sun Road was built, this was one of the park's main entrances. Today, it's quieter yet just as beautiful. You can take a scenic boat ride across the lake or hike to Scenic Point for wide open views. Less crowds, no rush, just Glacier at its most peaceful. Glacier straddles the Continental Divide, meaning a single raindrop here could end up in either the Pacific or the Atlantic. The Continental Divide Trail follows that same line, cutting through Two Medicine before climbing toward Pitamakan and Dawson Pass. It's just one small piece of a 3,000-mile route to Mexico, but it feels like hiking along the top of the continent. We hit the Scenic Point Trail early, climbing fast through open slopes where every turn revealed bigger views of the valley and the beautiful lake below. The wind picked up as we gained elevation, howling across the ridge and stealing every other word of conversation. By the time we reached the top, it felt like standing on the edge of the world. Blustery, but absolutely worth it.
Well, we enjoyed that, but we were surprised when we got back to the car. Our legs still feel fresh, or at least fresh enough that we weren't ready to quit exploring. So we moved our car just a little bit over here by the visitor center and down by the lake, and we're going to explore and just walk a little bit around here. Nothing specific, but just do a little exploring.
Like Jay just said, we ditched any plan and just followed what looked interesting. Bits of the Dawson Pass Trail, a few side paths, and plenty of shoreline detours. The meadows, the trees, and the mirrored water all had that pause and breathe kind of energy. It wasn't about checking off miles, just about enjoying the quiet side of Glacier.
Well, we are back to camp now. And to recap our day over in the Two Medicine Lake area, Alana and I really enjoyed the low speed sort of startup to the day that we felt over there. When we pulled into the parking lot, which is a very similar time to our other morning when we got started, we were only one of 3 cars, but only one other had a hiker that was going and doing the same hike that we were doing. The other was just going to be right there at the waterfalls that are early in. And that is much different. Now, we did notice as we came back down, we were completing that hike, that first hike, that the parking lot was very, very full and people were looking for spots. And when we transitioned over closer to the lake, even though it was very close there, we had to do a couple of loops on the overflow parking to find a spot. So midday there still gets really popular and the parking spots can fill up. Another thing with that lower vibe, or just a little bit of difference, the campground over there has really very spacious sites, very similar to here, but it doesn't have quite the same tree canopy. So it was warmer than what we have gotten here with the lovely shade we've had, but also, we haven't been able to make very much solar power here. So if you really need the solar power, if you don't have the batteries to pull you through, you don't have a generator like we do, you need the solar, or you just really want that Starlink to work for you, that might be a better campground to work out. I don't remember the name. I'll put it down here. But before you go booking there, make sure that your rig is low enough to make it through. I think there's only one access into the area, and there was a low height bridge that you would need to slip under to make it really into that entire end of the park. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, well, some good news. Alana and I had some luck here this evening. We did the 3-device whammy. We tried to get some tickets for the hiker shuttle into the mini glacier area, and we were successful. Unfortunately, we were successful for the earliest time, and it is a pretty good haul to get over there. So Alana's in there making some stuff for breakfast burritos. So we've got breakfast to get out of here really, really early. We've already been doing really, and we've got to add an extra really for tomorrow morning. But I'm excited to get over there that way. One other note, we have had a little bit more smoke push into the area from the north. You may have noticed that in the hiking footage. Sky started out a little more clear in that area compared to what we've had here, and then it got progressively worse. I am hoping that area is further in the north and also on the east side, the mini glacier area. I'm hoping we have some good vibes, but we're gonna go ahead and be very optimistic about it, and we're really looking forward in the morning.
Progress was slow at first. Every turn seemed to demand another photo stop in the early morning light. The lakes reflected the peaks so perfectly, it was hard to keep moving. We finally laughed and told ourselves to stop looking left and right if we wanted to make it up the trail. Before climbing higher, we took one last pause at Lake Josephine, where the reflections were almost too good to walk away from. On the park's northeast side, Mini Glacier is often called its heart, and for good reason. Jagged peaks, scenic lakes, and lots of wildlife make this area feel alive. Hikes like Grinnell Glacier and Iceberg Lake are iconic, and the Mini Glacier Hotel could easily pass for a Swiss alpine lodge, complete with the park's best gift shop. Wildlife is everywhere. Mountain goats, bighorn sheep, moose, and the occasional grizzly bear. As we trudged up the trail, we were reminded of that old SNL More Cowbell sketch. Turns out, one of the hikers in our group actually had a cowbell tucked in their pack. The real deal, meant for bears. But it came in handy when a ram decided to block the trail, stare us down, and refuse to move. A few solid shakes of that cowbell did the trick. He reluctantly moved along, probably wondering what kind of strange herd he'd just run into. The park's name isn't just poetic. Glacier once had more than 100 active glaciers, though fewer than 25 remain today. They are still incredible to see, a reminder of how quickly things are changing up here. We took our lunch break on the shore of Upper Grinnell Lake, watching small icebergs float and spin in the cold blue water, a front row seat to Glacier's beauty and its constant change. Our journey back included a detour to Grinnell Lake, a stunning pool of glacial blue tucked beneath towering cliffs. The air was crisp and the water icy cold, a perfect contrast to the heat of the climb. Afterward, we took the South Shore Trail around Lake Josephine, which turned out to be more inland adventure than lakeside stroll. The views disappeared, and those last miles definitely made us earn dinner. Just when you think Glacier couldn't get any more impressive, it goes international. The park shares its northern border with Canada's Waterton Lakes National Park, together forming the world's first international peace park, proof that sometimes beautiful landscapes can bring countries together.
Recapping yesterday and the hike, we were amazed at how well our legs and everything came together with us. That ended up being an exceptionally large day and hike. And while it didn't have the same amount of elevation that we've been doing lately on many of these higher altitude climbs, it's still 2,300 feet is not none. So that combined with the 15 and a little over mileage, we were pretty happy with ourselves.
Yes.
Scenery was beautiful, and I'm very thankful that we were able to get over to that area.
Yes.
And a little bit of feedback back on some comments that I made earlier. We ended up talking with a lot of people waiting for the shuttle, and they all had a very similar experience to us, where they were recycling the page and like everything that we were going through. Many people there were also going through it as well. And that makes me feel better in a weird way. While it's difficult to get into the area, it does appear to be people that are just really hitting it up and trying to make it over there, and not necessarily bots. So again, while difficult, I feel better that it's just, when you don't make it and you're losing out to other people that want to make it over. Now, one exception that I will say is one ticket is for
up to four people.
But at least it's a party of two is what the ticket says. And that's not clear until you get one in your cart. It's not clear that that's the deal. In fact, the information makes it read as though that we needed two. So part of our failure was because we were trying to get a quantity two, when in fact all along we only needed a quantity one, and that covered both of us. And then
that was consistent with other people too.
They were confused about that as well. So if you're trying to get over there while they're doing the construction and you need that, ear itch, just keep that in mind.
Yes.
I will also reiterate, the park remains exceptionally busy in the morning, and timed entry onto going to the Sun Road or not. You need to be in there and in the trailhead that you want by 6 a.m. if you're going to be successful keeping your car with you.
Yes.
Now, at the beginning of our trip, the shuttle was a viable solution.
Correct.
It worked just fine, but we came in here on just after Memorial Day weekend, our actual first
Labor Day.
Or I'm sorry, Labor Day. I always get those backwards in my head. Anyway, Labor Day is the end of the shuttle.
Yes.
So
we
luckily,
actually did that hike on Labor Day.
on the last
Yes.
shuttle day. So
Yes.
it does complicate things.
Yeah.
So now you do need to get your car in there, which means you need to get up. Now,
Yes.
it's later in the morning on the day after. And we now have over 38 miles and 7,200 feet of elevation gain across the 3 days of hiking. But we're not done. We're actually going to go out again today to stretch our legs a little bit.
Yep.
And sort of cool down. Now, we had considered going out for a paddle,
Yep.
but it's a little cooler today, and there's also a wind advisory. And I just
Yeah.
don't feel like that's in the cards for us.
No.
And you're also going to notice that we've avoided like the what's the Logan Pass hiking trails. While I would love to see
Yes.
Hidden Lake and maybe even do that Highline hike, because of some of the smoke that you've seen in
Mm-hmm.
the footage, we just didn't feel like the juice was worth the squeeze, so to speak. We thought we'd hike to a high elevation and then really not be able to see anything.
Correct.
So we've tried to pick mountain ranges where we're a little
Yeah.
closer to something epic that you could see and didn't have, because visibility is around 10 miles.
Yeah.
So anyway, what are we doing? Well, we are right here from camp. We're
Yes.
going to go do?
We are going to hike the west shore of Lake McDonald.
Yeah, and we're not sure if we're going to do the whole thing or not. It kind of depends on how our legs hold up.
Yep.
Right now, I feel good, but that could change pretty quickly.
Yes.
And like I say, we're here at Fish Creek
Yes.
Campground, and actually we can see the trailhead or a trail that connects to it. So
Yep.
we don't have to move the car. We don't have to
No.
do anything, which has allowed us to eat a breakfast and get a slower start.
Yes.
Anyway, enough waffling. Let's go hike.
Our base camp for this visit was on the west side in the Apgar and Lake McDonald area, the park's front door. With more than 20 trails branching out nearby, there's plenty to explore, but it's also one of Glacier's busiest spots. Lake McDonald stretches for miles, perfect for kayaking, paddleboarding, or just sitting on the shore convincing yourself you'll do either later.
What you got?
Along the West Shore Trail, the forest told a story of change. Pale tree skeletons and open slopes where the Howe Ridge fire once burned through 14,000 acres. The scars remain, quiet reminders that this landscape is always evolving. By afternoon, we followed the lake's edge back toward camp, matching its calming, steady rhythm.
We're back to camp now, all cleaned up, showered up, and ready to wind down. In fact, we have been here for a bit, just sort of chilling in the afternoon, because
Yes.
that little leg stretcher ended up adding 7.5 miles, and we realized we're done. We had an
Yes.
idea to go out for another one or do something else, and we thought, you know what, it's time to just relax.
Yeah.
That brings our grand total up to, well, whatever I put here, because we've got to do some math to be able to do that. I'm not real sure, but the bottom line is, it was a whole lot of hiking, and it was a whole lot of fun, and we did that without really knowing what the heck we were going to do when we rolled in here. So the lesson learned is, don't sweat it. You know, you have to do some planning, you have to try for some reservations, you have to try to get some advanced bookings, but the reality is you can't go wrong here. There's so
No.
much to do. We also know that not everyone is going to hike as much as us, and some other
Sure.
people may even hike a lot more than us when they come in here. There's other activities too. There's boat tours, there's helicopter tours. The local towns offer a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of things you could do with kayaking. You do have to have your boat inspected, but you could kayak, you could paddle, you could do a whole lot here. And the bottom line is, this is a second bottom line, but we realize that even though we feel like we did a really just job of visiting here, this is the first national park where, having done that, we would still put it on a revisit list because there's so much more to do. So make it a stop, make it a visit. I think you'll have a blast here.
Yeah.
Just plan on getting up early and running a little low
Yeah.
on sleep. And there you go. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. We hope to see you on our next adventure.
Yes.
Thanks for following along. Bye-bye.
Bye.